up, look down.
Yeah,
Oh!
we're about 2,500 feet right now.
We have 5 species of salmon. They start in freshwater, move to the ocean, and then return to spawn.
What's wrong with the light rail?
Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about the light rail.
You will probably have some fun and get a little bit dirty too, so that's part of farm chores.
I'm Leah Bolton.
I'm Dean Atwell. Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective beyond the bridge.
Hey guys, welcome to Fraser Focus, local faces and places here in the Fraser region. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell. Another jam-packed edition for you this week. We learn about the right to fish between First Nations and recreational anglers.
And right now we're here in Abbotsford for the Leap of Faith. It's an adrenaline-packed fundraiser for the Cyrus Center.
Let's head up, Leah.
How it started is I was on the streets and they were my place for food, they were my place for showers, for anything. And I was like always just there in the middle of the night, so they're really available anytime you need them.
Are we going to be safe up there?
You will be very safe. Yes, we'll look after you.
Jerry's going to make sure that we make it to the ground,
Yeah,
right?
the safety comes first, then comes the fun.
My heart goes out to the young kids in our community who didn't grow up in a home that I grew up in. So this is a wonderful way for the community to come together and support a very worthy organization.
Working a full-time job now, so.
And how's the job going?
Pretty good. It's night shift, so super tiring, or like graveyards.
We have 4 shelter beds, and between the Okanagan and Metro Vancouver, we are the only youth shelter.
So in any of the city, I mean, these kids end up going to regular shelters or just sleeping on the streets?
Adult shelters don't accept youth.
Oh, wow. So
No.
they just stay on the streets?
They don't have anywhere to go.
I lived in a stall of a barn, abandoned buildings without heat, electricity, or running water.
So that's where we take our name from. I would raise up Cyrus to fulfill my righteous purpose, guide all his actions. He will restore my city and set my captives free.
Everyone else who had given me something wanted something in exchange. You know what I mean? They gave me hot food, clean clothes, and even shampoo and conditioner for my hair.
The toughest part was just thinking that there was nobody and thinking not to trust anybody. I don't know, I had my family, I had everybody, but I didn't want them there. I didn't want people to know I was weak. I didn't want people to know that I was struggling, so I just hid from them.
You might have captured me looking at his hand.
We have youth that are sexually exploited, heavily involved in drugs, gang activity. Yet on the other hand, we've had many kids who've gone on to university and started families. And last summer we had 2 different youth who came back to see us who are homeowners here in Abbotsford.
I was one of these at-risk youth, and I turned myself over to God and changed my life, and was able to come here and come forward and bring what I have learned and what I've done to the other youth.
So in Abbotsford and Chilliwack, we're serving the entire Fraser Valley and Fraser Canyon, and we do this with community support. We don't do this with government funding.
Right.
Government funding makes up 5% of our total budget.
7.
You have to do
7 or lower.
Okay, yeah.
Well, people, when they support Cyrus Center, they're taking a leap of faith. They're putting their faith and their trust in us to do the best we can for the youth in this community.
How's it going?
Good.
Hey, we're so grateful for you guys doing this again for us this year.
Hey,
this is great.
It's kind of like any other fundraiser. Participants choose to participate, and then they pledge money, and all the money funds raised goes towards Cyrus Center. The only difference is instead of participating in a walk or run, our participants go skydiving.
Oh, this is a lifelong dream coming true here. This has been on my bucket list since I was maybe 7, 8 years old. Like this is big.
And I know some firsthand examples of things that they have done, help young people that they've helped out, and they're privately funded, and they need our help in the community, and
you're here to give it.
Yes.
Okay. Oh gosh, and she's only 2 feet off the ground. Okay, cross your feet.
Gosh.
Okay, and tap tap.
I think last tally was $8.50, but we still have donations pouring in, so It's really exciting. It's a great cause. We're really excited about it. We did a big, huge blanket and clothing drive with them around Christmas, so it's been great to kind of work hand in hand with them on this.
I don't know if I actually got a picture of you.
This is my biological mother.
I'm surprised I got that part right. Dean, you look good.
Thank you. This is my Sunday outfit.
Oh my gosh, that was so scary.
Like, what was the scariest moment for you? Like sitting by the plane?
The scariest moment was just the moment of jumping out. I just screamed of fear in that moment.
Oh, I'm not very good at this. Like, I was grabbing on everywhere. I wonder if Dean did any better.
We're out of control here. You're watching Fraser Focus. More local stories when we come back.
Right on.
So we can't tell what he's fishing.
It seems like a fairly big rod, so he's probably fishing sturgeon from shore.
The Fraser River has been home to Aboriginals for generations. Welcome back to Fraser Focus. I'm going to be exploring salmon fishing on the Fraser from two different angles. Next week, we take a look at the First Nations. This week, however, it's all about the recreational angler.
Fish don't bite when the sun shines.
They don't?
No, heavens no.
Good to know. That's why I've never caught anything. Got out on a perfect sunny day.
My family arrived in Canada in 1645, and we've been fishing since. So it is part of my family heritage.
We're clear.
They're doing sonar counting of the fish going upstream.
What that does, it gives them an indication of the size of the run, whatever the specific species is, and that indicates whether the fishery can stay open or has to close.
But what kind of fish are they monitoring?
We made some sockeye in it right now.
We have 5 species of anadromous salmon, which means they start in freshwater, move to the ocean, and then return to spawn. And most of the stocks have been going down, unfortunately, over the past few years, and there's probably a few reasons behind that. One is increasing temperatures through climate change, but it's also impacted in terms of the snowpack more or less being reduced, which lowers stream volume.
Just a drizzle.
It should be pointed out as well that looking at it from as far as numbers of anglers go, again, in years of abundance, particularly when the sockeye are running, it's estimated there could be from Mission to Hope, basically Chilliwack to Hope, over 5,000 anglers on the Fraser River fishing.
Thank you, gentlemen. So we can't tell what he's fishing on the side there.
He'll be fishing, it seems like a fairly big rod, so he's probably fishing sturgeon from shore.
How is the share allocated between anglers, sports fishing, and the First Nations?
I should point out, of course, conservation is number one.
Of course.
If there's conservation concerns, nobody fishes. If there's an allowable catch, First Nations get an allocation, and then we get an allocation.
So it's fair, you would say?
Fair. We're all citizens of Canada. I guess you could question what is fair and what isn't, but as I said before, we have to respect the constitutional rights.
We're fishing because there's springs coming up right now. So
Is that salmon?
That is actually a piece of spring salmon.
That's the only bit of salmon I'm going to see today.
That's probably what we're all going to see.
Nobody's laughing.
We'll give him a 2.
2 out of 5, yeah? When we talk about getting along, we're living in Canada. It's a diverse nation. We've got the Aboriginal peoples here. There must be some kind of communication happening between the First Nations and the anglers.
Fortunately, yes. You couldn't say that a number of years ago, because a number of years ago there was significant animosity between First Nations and the recreational anglers, to the point virtually of fistfights and threats being made on the river. That culminated about 7 years ago in a very serious episode with one of the respected First Nations chiefs, which actually created what's called the Fraser River Peacemakers.
Hey guys, you got some native guys drifting down here. Can't they go around us? They probably could, but you guys anchored out a little bit too far. Just pull in and come on shore and fish with us.
Because you don't know what I'm catching. If I've got a rod in the water, I could be going.
We can't fish other than sturgeon.
But if I had a sturgeon rod out,
then you're fishing for
sturgeon. Then I'm fishing for sturgeon.
Yeah, different gear totally. 9/0 hook compared with the salmon hook of a 5/0, which is much, much smaller than this. The line, 135 to 150 pound test. Salmon would be 50 to 60 pound test. The rods are one piece, heavy duty, 9-foot rods. His rod is a very heavy rod.
Does it look like sturgeon, Tony?
Well, the rod does, the reel doesn't.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to use a salmon fishing line on a sturgeon rod, would it?
You wouldn't have a hope landing it.
Oh, see, there's my fishing knowledge right there.
Well, to me, the future looks bright if you can have the user groups come together collectively, have an understanding of what each other needs and wants, and to respect those wants and needs, and make good decisions for the future for all of our children.
And there she goes, as they say. Well, we're going to continue on here fishing on the Fraser, or not fishing, but learning a lot more. Next week when we come back on Fraser Focus, we'll be exploring the First Nations angle. We'll be right back.
A Skytrain station cost $13 million, whereas a light rail station costs $3 or $4 million.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fraser Focus, local faces and places in the Fraser region. In the last segment, Dean was hanging out on the Fraser River. Right now, I am in the Surrey area. Now, we have been talking about the newest development in the works. We're talking about the extension of transportation to the Langley area. Now, the debate is light rail or Skytrain? Light rail or Skytrain?
Skytrain.
You prefer Skytrain?
Yeah.
Why do you prefer Skytrain?
Well, I think it's better.
Better
system.
Better system? What's wrong with the light rail?
Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about the light rail.
Okay.
Surrey is pursuing light rail transit as a way to shape and manage growth and to create connected, pedestrian-friendly communities.
Well, we're doing 2 business cases on the Fraser line. That we know we're going to be doing LRT on the King George line, and the what we're calling the L line, which goes over to Guildford as well, and it will connect Guildford and City Centre and then down to Newton. The line that's going to go from City Centre out to Langley, we're actually through TransLink is doing 2 business cases.
What do you think of the LRT?
The LRT system, a lot of smoke and mirrors. When you look, it's the kind of system that will look possibly attractive on video, and light rail is a very broad term, so you can say something like it's being used in all these systems around the world, and yet the reality is that because it's such a broad term, these systems are built to different specs. The one we're trying to build here, which is going to run in the middle of the street, these systems have seen numerous problems ranging from high accident rates to slower levels of service.
Skytrain has its good points, and so does light rail. Skytrain is driverless. Light rail, you have to have a driver, to operate those trains. So again, you're adding a bit more cost in the operation of light rail. But Skytrain, to construct, you're looking about the project I've been told is $450 million more than light rail. Light rail will move about up to 6,000 to 10,000 people per hour, whereas Skytrain can move 10 to 25,000 people. So you have a lot more capacity.
In your opinion, what's the biggest downfall to having Skytrain? Why does it not make sense to you?
A Skytrain station costs $13 million plus, whereas a light rail station costs $3 or $4 million at most. And with light rail, we can add stations to meet development proposals and things like that much easier than to trying to build an additional Skytrain station.
There are 120,000 riders per day. In Portland, the entire 84-kilometer light rail system has about exactly that much ridership per day.
You think he's done his homework?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, whatever's more effective, just in terms of, I understand capital costs and operating costs as well, long term. So
what's your opinion on that?
Whatever's more efficient and faster.
It was actually because in Calgary, I used to be from Calgary. They have the C-Train, which is basically light rail. Yes. It's on the street. And so a lot of this stuff you're talking about in terms of accidents sometimes occurring in the intersections, yeah, it slows down the trains, slows down the traffic, slows down the traffic flow, right?
Well, we're looking at the options. You know, we've been told that the light rail will be at ground level. If a vehicle at ground level happens to hit a light rail train, how do you get rid of it off the track in a fast and orderly manner?
But if we go back to 2014, the entire vision included 27 kilometers of light rail, and it was endorsed by all the mayors in the region, including the Langleys. Since then, of course, we've had elections and changes in councils and mayors. Are we still fine with those decisions? So let's do the double scenario of business cases, and that's what we're doing right now.
If you'd like to help out, absolutely. We have new campaign operations coming up this summer. And there's always a good chance you can possibly join us in a presentation out to Langley, Surrey. We're always in touch with them.
So there you go. If you want to be pro Skytrain, that's the petition to go to. And if you're pro light rail, then the City of Surrey does have something on their website as well. And if it's something else like hover cars that I'm pro, we have to invent those first. We'll be right back here on Fraser Focus in a moment.
That's right, come on. You have chores to do, put your bottle away.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fraser Focus, local faces and places here in the Fraser region.
It's now time to continue on with our special 4-part series showcasing talented kids in the community.
We're here in Langley. We're gonna get our hands dirty for Chore Day.
This farm gives people a chance to do hands-on stuff, ask questions, find out where their food comes from.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Eagle Acres Dairy. We changed to Eagle Acres, and that is because we did need a new name, and that is in honor of our son that passed away. So he is the Eagle Spirit, according to our First Nations band very close to here.
Brian and I have been milking for 17 years, so we've been doing this with school kids, community events, organizations for that entire time. So we built it designed to have people come and visit.
You will probably have some fun and get a little bit dirty too. So that's part of farm chores. So that's what you've come to do today.
Here you can come, you can milk a cow by hand, you can bottle feed something, and not be able to go sanitize your hands right away afterwards. You know, maybe get a few of those good germs on you.
Good germs. There aren't such things as good germs.
Getting your hands dirty and not worrying about it.
Are you worried about it?
Not really.
And that was milk that just came out of a cow a second ago.
Why is he doing that?
Because she's trying to suck more. She's trying to get more and more milk.
They're learning responsibility. They're learning about how to work together as a team, because it's not just one person that needs to run a farm. So everybody has to do their share to work to make it successful.
How fast is that milk disappearing?
Quick.
Wow, that went really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, I did that.
Are you learning chores, Sebastian? We are, yeah.
Why are you doing it today then?
Well, I want Sebastian and Sofia, my kids, to learn where the food that they eat comes from and to appreciate, you know, how much work goes into this.
You pour the cereal in, you put the cereal bucket back in their pen. And then you have to take the water bucket out, go and dump it over there on the other side of the goats. And then you refill the water because they drink fresh water each day.
I'm
I'm carrying water for the baby calf. We have to dump it out, and then we're gonna have to refill it with that hose.
Yeah. So they're learning responsibility here, really, is what you're saying. How are they at home? Are they really good at home? Could they learn some more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're good at home. They're good at doing their chores. But these are definitely different chores.
Hi. So cute. Do you want to work on a farm?
Yeah.
Yeah? What would your favorite thing be on a farm?
Cows.
Yeah, they probably like that.
You have chores to do. Put your bottle away, and then come back here.
So do you work this hard at home, though?
No.
No, yes?
No.
Yes, maybe,
Well,
no, you
yeah.
definitely do.
Don't.
But you have to, there's living things here.
Yeah. Like sheep.
Sheep.
Like sheep and goats.
Oh my gosh. He's trying to get away.
Yeah.
This bunny is so cute. You scared him.
No, he just took it out. The one who was born yesterday. Born yesterday. He has it. It's a 2-day-old little bunny.
I don't think you can hold the tiny. It's too little.
How old did you say?
1 day old. Just yesterday morning.
What do you think about this farming stuff?
Yeah, it's my second time here, and I really like it.
You really like it. Good. So you can take care of bunnies and cows and stuff?
I might get a bunny.
Come on, that's right. Come on, you guys. Come on. Come on, kids.
Then it's my turn again.
Just a minute, okay?
And
your turn?
A scoop of sawdust in the house.
We don't scoop anything out of the house?
No, we just add to the top. Oh, you're liking that now, aren't you?
Dean, hard day's working. We thought we had a tough job.
That brings us to the end of another edition of Fraser Focus, bringing you local places and faces each week from the Fraser region.
Fraser Focus fans, we have a treat for you. We want to send you out into the community to enjoy the adventures that the local region has to offer.
You can log on to joytv.ca on the website and enter to win a family pack of tickets for Cultus Lake Water Park, Harrison Water Sports,
Powerhouse at Stave Lake, and Sandpiper Golf. Don't forget to send us your stories. I'm Leah Bolton.
and I'm Dean Atwell. We'll see you next time.